So let's explain the user interface of the CATIA. Here at the top we have a menu bar. Here we have a start. Here we can select different workbenches. Here we have some standards menu bar options. File. Here we can create a new file. We can open, we can save, print, and so on. Here we have an edit option. Here we have view. So here we can change the view, zoom out, zoom in, fit all in, render style, navigation mode, and so on. Here under insert, we can select comments. As well, we can select the comments using here toolbars. Here we have a tools, and here we have a window. We can go here with a new window. We can go with tile horizontally, tile vertically, and so on. And here we have a help. On the left side here we have specification tree. So what is this specification tree? This tree contains the list of operations carried while constructing a part. So here we have the part name. As you can see, my part that we have created in the previous lecture. Here we have our three planes because we work in a 3D space. XY plane, we can click on this one, and now this plane is highlighted here, as you can see. We can click on this one here, YZ, and now this plane is highlighted. And we can click here on the ZX, and now this plane is highlighted. On those planes we create sketches, and then we project sketches to 3D models. And here we have the part body. So here we have a plus. Let's click on this plus. So here we have a tool that we used. We use pet tool, and now here we have this tool. As well, we have created sketch 1. So this sketch 1 is projected to 3D model with the use of pet tool. We click on this plus here, and here we have absolute axis, geometry, and constraints. We can click on this plus here. Let's move this toolbar like this. Here we have the origin, horizontal direction, and vertical direction. If we click here on the plus of the geometry, here we have the tools that we use to create our rectangle, point, line, point, and so on. And here we have constraints, and those constraints we're gonna show later. So this is the specification tree. So everything that we're gonna work here, each tool that we're gonna select, we're gonna see here on the specification tree. And here we can delete any tool or any step, and we can modify any step in our design process. Now if you click here on those lines of these three, like this, now our model becomes black. If you don't want a black, you can click again here on those lines, like this. Now let's close this. Let's go here to the right side. Here on the right side we have different toolbars. Some toolbars are here on the right side, some toolbars are here down, and some are here, as we can see. You can select this toolbar and you can move this toolbar, for example here, like this. So toolbar consists of commands which help you to perform various operations. So for example, this toolbar has those commands. For example, edge fillet. You can select this one, and now we can select this edge here, like this, and let's click OK. And now here we have a fillet. If we go now to our specification tree, we can open this part body. Here we can see the edge fillet that we have applied to this body here. As well, some toolbars are here on the right side here, and some toolbars are hidden. Here you can see those two arrows, which means that some toolbars are hidden here. We can click on those two arrows and we can drag toolbar here out, like this one here. We can again click here and we can drag this toolbar out, like this. We can click again, we can drag this out, like this. And we can click again, we can drag this one out. And now we don't have arrow here anymore, so we don't have any hidden toolbars. Now all toolbars that are active are on the screen. Now for example, if you want to put this toolbar here, you can select this toolbar and you can drag it here and you can release the click. And now we have this toolbar here. As well, this toolbar here is vertical and this one here is horizontal. If you want to make this toolbar here horizontal, to see the name of the toolbar, you can hold shift, click on this toolbar, and now you can drag the mouse, and here we have horizontal toolbar. Now we can see the name of this toolbar, dressed up features. And here we have the various tools that we can use. If you don't find any toolbar that you want, you can right click here on the toolbar, and here you can see the all toolbars that are active. So you can deactivate and activate any toolbar that you want here. If you click on this arrow and if you go down here, here you will find customize. So let's click on this one here. Now here we have a new dialog box. Let's go here to the toolbar tab. Here we can add a new toolbar, we can rename the toolbar, or we can restore all contents and restore positions. So we can click here, restore position. Let's click OK. And let's close. And now all toolbars are at initial position. So here we have this arrow and so toolbars are hidden. For example, we can drag it out like this, as you can see. As well, here we have this toolbar and we want this toolbar here. We can click here and we can drag this toolbar here, like this. And now we're going to show how we can change the display. Now we have this color, but we can change the color. So we can go here to the tools and let's go here to the options. Here we can change different things, but we won't change anything except the color. So we can go here to the visualization tab and here we have the background color. Now as you can see we have this one, blue, gray. We can select for example the black one. Let's click OK and now here we have the black one. So you can select any color that you like. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go to the default one. And I'm gonna select here the blue-gray. This one, let's go with OK. Down here we have a status bar, this one here. Status bar shows the prompts and the action taken while using the comments. So for example, if we select here the fillet, now here we have a prompt, select an edge or face. So we can select for example this edge here and let's click OK. And now here we have a fillet, as you can see. So when you're going to use any tool, here on the status bar, you're going to see what action is required to correctly use this tool. Now by the default, we have select any object or a comment. So we can select here, for example, chamfer. And now here we have specify the required data to define the chamfer. So here we have to specify the data. So we can go, for example, with length. Let's type 5 here, like this. And now let's select this edge here, this one here, and let's click OK. Like this. In the next lecture, we're gonna show how we can manipulate with our mouse. In this lecture, we're gonna show and explain what is CATIA, what is design process in CATIA, and what are workbenches. So CATIA is parametric feature-based system that allows you to create 3D parts, assemblies, and 2D drawings, and much more. But in this course, we're gonna show how to create sketches, 3D parts, assemblies, and 2D drawings. So the simple design process in CATIA is that first you create a sketch. Then based on this sketch, you project a 3D model. Then combining a 3D models, you get assembly. And then you can create drawings at the end. As well, you can create drawings from the assembly and from 3D parts. As well, you can create drawings without creating assembly in 3D parts. But this is some standard process. So sketch, 3D part, assembly, and drawings. So to create a sketch in CATIA, or to create a 3D part, or assembly, or a drawing, you have to use workbenches. CATIA has many workbenches to carry out different types of processes, such as sheet metal design, mold design, automotive design, static analysis, and so on. But in our course, we're going to use only 4 workbenches: sketcher, part design, assembly design, and drafting. So those workbenches have different tools to create sketches, parts, assemblies, and drawings. So to access to those workbenches, you can go here to the start. And here we have a different workbenches. So for example, we can go here to the infrastructure. And now here we have Photo Studio, Material Library, Real-Time Rendering, and so on. We can go here to the mechanical design. And here we have all workbenches that we're gonna use. We're gonna use part design, assembly design, sketcher, and drafting. As well, here we have sheet metal design, here we have surface design, and so on. So CATIA has many workbenches. You can see here: shape, analysis and simulation, machining, equipment assisting, machining simulation. You can go with NC, machine tool simulation, and so on. But in our case, we're gonna go here to the mechanical design, and we're gonna use here part design, assembly, sketcher, and drafting. Now, for example, let's create a simple sketch. To do that, we can go here to the part design, or we can go here to the sketcher. So let's go here to the part design, like this. Now here we have a new dialog box, new part. We have to enter the name of our part. So let's type here my part like this, and let's click OK. And now we are in the part design workbench. Part design provides comments to create parametric solid models. To create solid models, first you must draw parametric sketches in the Sketcher workbench and then project the sketch to 3D solid. Here we can see different toolbars. This one here, this one here, this one here, and those on the right side and below here. And those toolbar consist of different comments. So to create a 3D model, first we have to go to the Sketcher workbench. So let's select this plane here. Let's select here this tool Sketch. Like this. And now here we are in the Sketch workbench, and now here we have a different tools, as you can see. So now we can select, for example, this rectangle. We can pick any point here, like this. We can drag our mouse, and now we can pick any point here, for example, like this. And now this is our sketch that we have created in the Sketcher workbench. Now if we want to project this sketch to a 3D model, we have to exit here. Here we can see exit workbench, Sketcher workbench. And now we are in the part design workbench. As you can see here, this icon, part design. Now let's select this tool here, the pet, this one here, and let's click OK on this dialog box here, like this. And this is our 3D model that we have created now. All of those tools here that you can see, we're going to explain in the course later, step by step, so don't have to worry about this. As well, in the further lectures, we're going to explain the user interface. But for now, let's go here to the start again. Let's go to mechanical design. And now here we've shown the part design workbench and the Sketcher workbench. As well, here we have assembly design workbench. Assembly design workbench provides comments to combine individual parts in an assembly. And that we're going to show later. As well, here we have a drafting. Drafting workbench provides comments to create 2D drawings which can be used for manufacturer processes. And that we're going to show also later. So let's click here. Here on the left side, on this tree, this is specification tree. We're going to explain this tree later. We have here the name, my part, that we have defined. As well, here we can see the name, my part. Now, if we want to create a new file, we can go here to the start, mechanical design, and we can select here any workbench that we want to use. Or we can go here to the file and we can select here new, like this. And now here we have to select the workbench. So let's go down and let's select here part, like this. And now we can click OK, like this. And now we can add a name here. So let's call it B, for example, and let's click OK. And now this is our second file. We can see the name B here. And now we are in the part design, as we can see, workbench. So this is how you can create a new file. So let's close this file here. Let's select this X here. And now we are in this file. As well, you can create a new file by clicking here on this icon here, new, like this. As well, here you can select the workbench. So let's select here part. Let's go with OK. Let's leave it here, part 2, and let's go with OK. And this is how you can open a new file in the CATIA. In the next lecture, we're going to explain the user interface. So let's close this one here. In this lecture, we're going to show the most functions that we can use in CATIA. So we can go to this object here, this 3D model that we have here, and we can double click on this object. And now here we have the dialog box. This dialog box is the dialog box of the pet tool that we have used. This one here. And now here we can change the properties. For example, instead of 20, the depth of the extrusion, the length, we can go with 40 and we can click OK. And now here we have some modification on our model. So using this dialog box, you can edit parameters of the object. If you press the scroll wheel, and now you can drag your model to different positions. For example, here, or for example, here, like this. If you go to this model, for example, this face, you can see this face is highlighted. You can right click. You can go here, for example, to the properties, like this. And here you can change the color. So let's go to the red one, like this. You can go here with apply. And here we can see this face is now red. Here we can change the transparency. Now here is the 0 by default, but we can change this, for example, to 160, like this. Let's go with apply. And now we can see that this face is transparent. But let's go here to the 0. Let's click OK. Now, for example, if you want to zoom out and zoom in, you have to press the scroll wheel like this. And now you have to right click the mouse only one time, like this. And now you can go zoom in and zoom out by moving the mouse, like this. If you want to rotate your object, you have to press the scroll wheel and now press the right button on the mouse. And now you can see this circle here. And now you can move your mouse and you can rotate your object, like this. So again, if you want to zoom out and zoom in, press scroll wheel and one time click right button. And now move your mouse. If you want to rotate, press the scroll wheel and hold the right button and now move your mouse. And now you can rotate your model, like this. Also, here we have a toolbar view. Let's select this toolbar and let's move it here, like this. If you don't see this toolbar, you can right click here and here you have a view toolbar. Now you see here is checked. We can uncheck this and now we don't see the toolbar here. So let's go right click again. Let's go with view. And here is our toolbar. Here we have an option feed all in. For example, if you don't see your model here on the screen, or if you have a big model and you want to fit your model to the screen, you can select this tool and you can click here fit all in, like this. You can also select here this tool, pen, and you can also move your model like this instead of using the scroll wheel. Here we have an option to rotate as well. Instead of using the scroll wheel and the right click, you can click here rotate, and now you can rotate your model here the same way as we shown before. As well, here we have a zoom in and zoom out. So we can click here and now we go zoom in. If we click this one, now we go zoom out, like this. Now if you want to go normal to some face here, we can select, for example, this face, and you can click here normal view. And now here we have a normal view, like this. Here also we have a different views. So here we have isometric view. We can select here, this is isometric view. Here we have front view. Now we have a front view. We can select here back view. We can select here top view, and so on. So here we have the different view, bottom, left, right, top, and so on. So let's go here to the isometric view, like this. Here we have the visual style. We can change here the visual style. We can go with shading. We can go here with shading with edges. And now we can see the edges. As you can see, the appearance is different. We can go here with shading with edges and hidden edges. This one here, and now we can see here the hidden edges. We can go here with shading with material. Let's go here, and here we have the last option, and this is wireframe. And now we have this view, as you can see. So you can select here any view that you want, or any view that's more convenient for you to work with your model. So let's go here with the shading, like this. So this is how you can use a mouse and how you can use a view toolbar in the CATIA. In this lecture, we're going to show how we can save our file. So if we have a part, then we have a different file extension. If you have a product or assembly, then we have also different file extension. Or if we have a drawing, then also we have a different file extension. So what it means? So this is the part, and if we want to save this, so let's go to the file, and here we have option save as. Here we have to select the location. Let's go to the desktop. Here we have to enter a name. Let's enter here A, like this. And now here we have the file type. For a part, we're gonna have here cat part. If we have an assembly, then we're gonna have here cat product. And if we have a drawing, then we're gonna have here cat drawing. But we're gonna show this later in the course. So the geometry of individual part will have this extension, cat part. So the files created in the Sketcher workbench, part design workbench, sheet metal design, and frame surface design workbenches will have this extension, cat part. So let's call it A, let's go to the desktop and let's go here with cat part. But also if we click here we have a different file types. We can go here, for example, with STL, STP, and so on. But in our situation, we're gonna use cat part. So let's go with cat part. Let's go with name A. Let's go to the desktop. Let's go with save. Now we can go to the desktop, and here we have our file A. You can right click here. We can go to the properties, and we can see this is cat part. Now let's close this. Let's go to the CATIA and let's close this. Now let's open this part. So we can go here to the file and let's select your open. Let's go to the desktop and let's find our file. Here it is, A, CATIA part. Let's open here. And this is our part. So depends what are you saving. If you're saving part or assembly or drawing, you will have a different extension. In the case of the part, we're gonna have extension cat part. So this is how you can save your part in the CATIA. Now before we have shown how we can create a line by using the profile tool, but we can also create a line using this line tool. So let's select this one here, and now we have to specify the start point. So we can pick any point here, and now we can go here with horizontal line. We can see the line is blue. We can go with some inclined line like this, or with vertical line like this. So let's define the second point. Let's go with horizontal line like this. And this is it. We have created only one line. Now if we want to create another line that continues from this point, we have to select tool again like this. Let's go to this point, and now let's create another line like this. Here we have different options how we can create a line. We can create infinite line. With infinite line tool, we can create a line with infinite length. So let's select this tool, and now we can see here we have a line with infinite length. Now here we can create horizontal line, as you can see here, but if we go here to the sketch tools, we can see that here is active horizontal line. We can go here with vertical line as well. We can go here with line through 2 points. So first let's go with horizontal line. So let's locate our line somewhere here like this. So this is horizontal line. We can see H here. Let's select this tool again, but now let's click here vertical. And now here we have a vertical infinite line. Let's position somewhere here like this. Let's select this tool again. Let's select here line through 2 points like this. Now we have to specify the first point, and now we have to specify the second point. For example, here like this. And now here we have this infinite line. So let's go here again. The next tool that we have here is bitangent line. So for this line, we must have 2 arcs or circles. So let's go here and let's create 2 circles. Let's create the first circle here. Let's create a circle again. Let's create another circle here like this. Now we can go here to the line. Let's select this one here, bitangent line. Now we can select this circle here and this circle here like this. And now we can see that this line is tangent to this circle and to this circle. So this is how you can create a line that's tangent to arcs or circles. Here we have the bisecting line. With bisecting line, you can create an infinite line passing through the intersection of 2 lines. So let's select this one here. So first we have to select the first line that defines the sector to be bisected. So we can select this line here like this. Now we have to select the second line like this. And now we can see that this line that we have created goes to the intersection of those 2 lines, this one here and this one here. And the last tool that we have here is line normal to curve. So let's select this one here. Now for example, we want to create a line that will be normal to this circle here. So we can pick any point here, for example here, and now we can create a line. And now we can see that this line is normal to this circle. We can select again. We can pick any point here, for example, and now we can see that this line is normal to this circle here. As well, here we have a tool axis, so we can create an axis here. We can pick the first point and the second point, and here we have an axis. The function of this axis we're going to show in the next chapter when we're going to work with part design. So those are all variations how you can create a line. Now we're going to show how to create a circle. So let's go here in the profile toolbar, and here we have a circle. So let's select this circle. So first we have to define the center of the circle. So let's pick any point here, and now we have to define the circle radius. So we can define any point here, like this. And let's click here. And now we can click on this circle, and we can redefine the radius of this circle, and we can move this circle to any other position. For example, here or here, like this. Let's go here. Let's select here the second circle that we have here, and this is 3-point circle. Now we have to define 3 points to define the circle. So let's go the first point, second point, and now here we have to define the third point, like this, and this is our new circle. Let's go here. Let's select here the second circle that we have, and this is circle using coordinates. Let's select this one here. Now here we have a new dialog box. So here we have to define the center point with horizontal and vertical coordinates. So for example, we can go here with 10 and 10, and here we have a radius, so let's go with 50 and let's click OK. And now here we have our circle. As you can see, the coordinates of this circle are 10 in the horizontal direction, 10 in the vertical direction, and here we have a radius. And this circle is green because this circle is fully defined. And how to fully define a sketch we're going to show in the next lectures. Let's select this circle again with coordinates like this. Here we have the options Cartesian or polar. Now we've shown Cartesian, we can also go here to the polar like this. So we have to define the radius. Let's go here with 200, and here we have to define an angle. Let's go with 45 degrees, and we have to define the radius. So let's go with 200 as well. And let's click OK, like this. And now here we have 200 from this origin to this point to the center, 45 degrees, and here we have the radius 200 as well. And this is our circle. Let's go here, and the next option that we have here is 3-tangent circle. To use this circle we must have 3 objects. So let's go here, let's create here a new circle, like this. And now let's go here again. Let's select here this 3-tangent circle, like this. Now we have to select 3 geometries, so let's select this one here, and this one here, and now here we have a circle that's tangent with this circle here, this one here, and this one here, as you can see. Now let's go here, let's create rectangle here, like this. Now let's go here to the 3-tangent circle, like this. Let's select this circle, and this line here. And this is also possible. So now as you can see, here we have a tangent relation here and here. Let's go here, let's go to the next tool, and this is 3-point arc, like this. So we can create an arc by defining the 3 points. So we can go with the first point, second point, and the third point, like this. So we can select this arc again. So we can define, for example, the first point here, the second point here, and the third point, for example, here, like this. And here we have our arc. Let's go to the next tool. The next tool that we have here is 3-point arc starting with limits. So let's select this one here. So first we have to define the start point of the circle, like this. Now we have to select the end point of the arc, like this. And now we have to select the second point the arc will go through. So let's select, for example, we can go to this side or this side. Let's pick point here, like this. And this is our arc. Let's go here to the last tool that we have here, and this is arc. So first we have to define the circle center, like this. Now we have to define the radius, and this is our start point. And now we have to define the end point, for example, here, like this. And this is our arc. So this is how you can create circles and arcs. In the previous chapter, we have shown the concept of this course. So we showed how to create sketches, how to create parts, assembly, and drawings. In this chapter, we're going to show all the sketch tools that we have in CATIA. So we're going to show how we can use sketch tools, how we can apply dimensional and geometric constraints to define shape and size. So let's go here to the start. Let's go to mechanical design, let's select here Sketcher Workbench. Let's go with name part 1 and let's go with OK. And now here we see that we have here active sketch. Now here in the status bar we have to select a plane or planar face or a sketch. So we can select any plane here or here on the specification tree. So let's go here with YZ plane, this one here, and now we can see that we are in the Sketcher Workbench. Here we have different toolbars, but let's go here, right click, customize, let's go to the toolbars, let's go with restore position, and OK. Like this, let's close this. So let's select this toolbar here, and let's put it here. So let's go with horizontal position, so we can hold shift, click here, and let's drag a mouse like this. So make sure that you have here profile toolbar, this one here, and make sure that you have here sketch tools. Now maybe on your screen you have a grid here. So we can go here to the sketch tools toolbar, and here we have a grid. If you want a grid, you can turn on the grid like this, or you can turn off here like this. So let's turn on the grid like this. The first tool that we're gonna show is profile here. So let's select this tool, profile. Now here on the status bar we have to click or select the start point of the profile. So we can pick any point here. And now as we're moving our mouse, we can see here that coordinates of our points are changing here, horizontal and vertical. And those coordinates are relative to this coordinate system here. And as you can see here we have now horizontal 0 and vertical 0. If we go to the right side, now only horizontal coordinate is changing. If we go to the vertical direction like this, now only vertical coordinate is changing like this. Now we can pick any point here. So let's pick here at the origin like this. Now the status bar we can see click or select the end point of the current line. So we can go here with horizontal line like this. Now we can see this is horizontal line because it's blue. If we go up, then we can see that this line is white. If we go here, now we can see this line is vertical and it's blue. So let's go with horizontal line like this. So make sure that it's blue. Like this. Now we can go down with vertical line. For example, like this, we can pick any point here. Like this. Let's move this toolbar here. And now let's finish here at the origin. Like this. Now this is our sketch. Here we have horizontal line, we have a symbol here, H, and here we have V vertical. Now if we want to delete some line here, you can select this line and you can press delete. If you want to delete the both lines, you can select one line, hold Ctrl the second line, and now we can see those lines are orange, and now you can press delete. Or you can go with escape, select the point here, hold it, and release the mouse, and now you can go with delete. So this is how you can select your sketch. Let's go to the profile again. Let's go here at the origin, like this. Let's go with horizontal line, like this. Let's go here with vertical line, like this. And now we want to finish our sketch here. But now we can see that we have a line here. If we don't want to continue our sketch, we can press escape, like this. Press escape again. And now this is our sketch. Again, if we want to delete it, we can select like this and delete. Now let's go to the profile again. Let's start at this point. Let's go with horizontal line like this. And now if we go here to the sketch tools, here we have some options. Here we have option line, which is active now. Here we have option tangent arc. Let's select here tangent arc like this. And now here we have an arc. Now we can create an arc here. For example, like this. Or we can go like this. Let's go like this. And now here we have a line again. So let's go with a line now, vertical line like this. And now let's go here and let's select this 3-point arc. Now we have to select 3 points. The first point we have already selected. This is the first point. Now the status bar we can see, click to define the second point of the current arc. Let's go with the second point, and now let's go here with the third point, like this. And now we have a line again. And now if we go here with horizontal line, and now you can see here vertical vector, which means that this point here at the beginning point at the origin are on the same vertical line. So we can click here, and now we can finish the origin, like this. And we can go with escape. And this is our sketch. Now let's go here to the sketch tools. Here we have a grid. But also here next to the grid, we have a snap to point. So let's turn on this one. Let's select here profile. And now as you move your mouse, you can see that you can only position your mouse at the cross sections of those lines. As you can see, for example, here. And now we can go to horizontal line, and now we can only define the endpoint on those cross sections and those snap points, as you can see here. So this can help you to define your sketch. You can use this, but you don't have to use this snap to point. For example, we can create something like this. Something can be really useful to use snap to point, but I prefer not to use it. So I'm gonna go here, turn off the snap point, and I'm gonna turn off the grid like this. Now you can click, for example, on this line here. Now you can move this line up and down, and you can change the shape of the sketch. You can go to the left and right like this. As well, you can click here on this arc, and now you can move this arc, and now you can redefine the shape of the sketch as well. Now let's delete our sketch. So let's click here, hold mouse, drag it, and release the mouse. Left click. Let's go with delete. So this is how you can use a tool profile. Now we're going to continue with next tool here, and this tool is rectangle. So you can click on this arrow, and here we have various rectangles. So let's start first with this one here. Let's select this rectangle, and now we have to specify the first point to create rectangle. So we can pick any point here, like this, and now we have to specify the second point by defining the second corner. So let's pick any point here, like this. Now let's go with escape. And this is our rectangle. So we have two horizontal lines and two vertical lines. We can click on this line and we can change the shape of our rectangle like this, or we can click on this point like this and you can change the shape of this rectangle because we didn't put any dimensions or any constraints yet. Let's go here. Let's select this second rectangle that we have here, this orientate rectangle. With orientate rectangle, we can create inclined rectangle. So let's select this one here. So with first 2 points, we have to define the width and inclination angle of the rectangle. So let's select the first point. Let's select here, like this, the second point, like this. So we defined the width of the rectangle and the inclination of the rectangle. And now we have to define the height of the rectangle. For example, like this. And this is our rectangle, as you can see. Here we have the sign. Here we have the symbol of parallelism. Here we have the symbol that those two lines are parallel. This one and this one, and this one and this one. As you can see, you have a symbol here and here. Because now we can click on this point and we can change the shape of this rectangle without changing the parallelism between those lines here. Because if we click on this one here, this symbol, and we press delete, let's click on this one, let's press delete. Now if we click on this point, if we move our rectangle, now we can see that those two lines are not parallel anymore. So we want to make sure that those two lines are parallel as well as those two. So we can go here and you can go with undo selection like this. So this is our rectangle. Let's click here. Let's go here to the next rectangle. This is parallelogram. So let's pick the start point, this one here. Let's go with the second point, something like this. And let's go here with the third point, for example, like this. And this is parallelogram. Again, those two lines are parallel, this one and this one here and this one here. Let's go here. Let's select here elongated hole. With this tool, we can create a straight slot by defining its center line and radius. So let's select this tool. Let's go zoom out like this. Now we have to define the center to center distance. So let's pick the first point. Let's go with the horizontal line. Let's select the second point. So now we have defined the length, and now we have to define here the radius, as you can see, like this. And this is our slot. If you don't see the dimension here, make sure that on this toolbar here, sketch tools, you have on dimensional constraint. As well, here we have a symbol of tangent relation. As well, make sure that you have here on geometrical constraint. The next tool that we have here is cylindrical elongated hole. So let's select this one here. So with this tool, we can create a curved slot by defining the curve radius and slot radius. So first we have to create an arc and then a slot along an arc. So let's pick first point, like this. Let's go with second point. Now we have to create an arc, like this. And now we have to define the radius along this arc, like this. And this is our cylindrical slot. Let's go here. Let's select here keyhole profile. With this tool we can create a small and large arcs connected through a slot. So let's select this tool. So first we have to select a point or click to locate the start point, like this. Now we have to define the center of small radius. So let's go down. Let's click here, like this. Now we have to define the small radius, as you can see here, down. And now we have to define the large radius, like this. And this is our keyhole profile. So let's go here again. And let's select this one here, hexagon. We have shown this tool in the previous chapter. So we have to define the center point. Now we have to define the radius of this hexagon, like this. And this is our hexagon. Let's go here again. Let's select here, and here we have centered rectangle. So let's select this tool. So first we have to define the center of the rectangle, so we can pick any point here, like this. And now we have to define the second point of the rectangle, for example, like this. And now we know that here we have the center of the rectangle. Here we don't know where is the center of the rectangle when we used this type of the rectangle. So this is how we can create rectangles, parallelograms, slots, and polygons. In this chapter, we're going to show operation tools. So if you go here in the right side, here you will find operation toolbar, this one here. Here we have different tools. Now we're going to show the tools corner, chamfer. But before we do so, let's go here and let's show this tool here, construction standard element. So here we have this rectangle. Now for example, we want to create a circle here right in the center. So the easiest way is that we go here to the line. We can create a line here, like this. The first line, let's go with a second line here, like this. And this is it. And now we can create a circle right here on the intersection of those two lines. So we can go here to the circle, we can select this point here, and we can create a circle, like this. But what is the problem now? For example, if you want to project this sketch to 3D model, this is not possible. Because here we have those two lines that intersect this circle here. In order to make those two lines invisible for 3D projection, we can go here and we can use here construction standard element. So with this tool, we can convert a standard sketch elements into a construction element. Construction elements support you to create a sketch of a desired shape and size. So we can select this line, hold Ctrl, select this line, and let's go here, let's click here on this tool. And now here we have construction lines. And now those construction lines won't affect our projection to 3D model. So in such a cases, you can use construction lines here to help you to create your sketch. You can also convert any line to construction line. You can click on this line here, you can go to construction line. If you don't want a construction line here, you can click on this construction line and you can go with here on check, like this. So this is how you can use construction lines. Now we're going to show another tool, and this is corner, this one here. This tool rounds a sharp corner created by intersection of two lines, arcs, circles, and rectangle or polygon vertices. So here we have two lines, and now we want to round this sharp corner here. So you can go here and you can select here corner, like this. Now we have a two option. We can select a common point, or we can select the first line and the second line here. And now we can see the preview. Now you can position this arc here. You can go to this direction, this direction, this direction, and this direction. Let's go somewhere here, like this. And here we have a radius. You can change the radius, we can double click here, and you can go, for example, to 15, hit enter, like this. Now let's go select this tool again. Now let's select this common point here, like this. And let's go here. So this is also possible. You can select two lines that intersect, or you can select a common point. You can also go here. For example, those lines doesn't have to be under 90 degrees. They can be at any angle. So let's select this tool. Let's select this line and this line here. And we can create something like this. And now here we have a tangent relation, and here we have a radius. Now let's select this tool again. Let's go here to the sketch tools, and here we have a lot of options. So the first option by default is trim all elements. Then we have an option trim first element. So let's select this one here. Let's select this point like this. And now we can see that this element is not trimmed, only this one here. Let's go with undo. Now let's select this tool again. Let's go here and let's select construction line trim. So let's select this point like this. And now here we have a construction lines, as you can see. So those are all options that you have with a corner. And now we're going to show the third tool here, and this is chamfer. With the chamfer tool, we can replace a sharp corner with an angled line. So let's select this tool here. As well, we can select those two lines, or we can select here a common point. So let's go here with this line and this line here, like this. As well, we can position this line here, 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 and here. So let's go here, like this. And now here we have an angled line. We can change here, as you can see, angle. Now it's 45. We can double click here. We can go with 30, hit enter, and you can change here the length. So we can go, for example, with 20 and hit enter, like this. Let's go to this tool again. We can also select the common point, like this. So this is also option. Let's select this tool again, and here we have a lot of other options. So we can go here with trim first element, no trim. We can go here with construction lines, no trim. We have all options that we have here with corner. So let's go here with construction lines, no trim. Let's select this line and this line here. And now here we have construction lines, as you can see. So this is how you can replace sharp corners in the sketch. Now we're going to show how we can trim our sketch. The trim command trims and extends elements to form a corner. So for example, here we have this line, and now we don't want this part of this line here. We want that this line will end here, at this point. In this case, we can use the trim tool. So we can go here and we can select here trim. Let's click on this part of the line, this one here. And as you can see, now we can define the length of this line. So we can end up here, like this. As well, we select trim. We can, for example, click on this part of the line, and now we can define line like this. This is also option. So we have trim this portion of the line. We can also select this trim tool. We can go here to the circle, like this, and now we can create a circle, something like this. And now we have trimmed this portion of the circle. Let's go undo, like this. Now here we have another trim tool, and this is quick trim, this one here. With this command, we can trim end of an element back to the intersection of another element. So let's show how this works. So for example, we don't want this part of the line here. So we can simply click here on this part, like this. Or for example, let's select this tool. We don't want this portion of the circle inside of this rectangle. So you can click here inside of this rectangle on this circle, like this. Let's select this tool again. Now for example, we don't want this portion of the rectangle, this one here and this one here, inside of this circle. So we can click here, we can select tool, and we can click here. And we got something like this. So this is also possible. Let's go undo, like this. Now we're going to show a tool break. So let's go here, let's select here break. With break command, we can break a sketch element at a selected point. For example, now we want to break this line at this point here. So we can select this line, and now let's select any point here, for example, point here, like this. And now here we have two lines. Instead of one line, we have two lines. This one here and this one here. So we have break this line. Now for example, we can select this line and we can delete it, like this. So this is how you can break a line. The another tool that we have here is close arc. So let's select this tool. So here we have an arc, and now we want to convert this arc to circle. So we want to close this arc. You can just simply click on this arc, like this, and now here we have a circle, as you can see. Let's go undo. And the last tool that we have here is complement. With this tool, we can show the complementary side of an arc. So let's select this tool, let's select this arc, and now here we have a complementary side of the arc. So those are some tools how you can clean your drawing by trimming and breaking sketch elements. In this lecture, we're going to show how we can apply constraints to our sketches. Every sketch that we create must be fully constrained before moving on to create features. Fully constrained means that the sketch has defined shape and size. You can fully constrain a sketch by using dimensions and constraints. The dimensional constraints define length, size, and the angle of the sketch element, while geometric constraints define the relation between sketch elements. So here we have some sketch elements. Before we move on, let's go here down and make sure that you have on here dimensional constraints and you have on geometrical constraints here. Let's drag this out here. This is visualization. If you don't see this toolbar, you can right click and you can find it here, visualization. As well, make sure that you have here this toolbar, this one here, constraint. You can right click here and you will find here also constraint. As well, make sure that you have here sketch tools, this toolbar here. Now let's turn on here dimensional constraint, geometrical constraints, and let's turn on here on the sketch tools toolbar as well, geometrical constraints and dimensional constraints here. And now here we have some sketches. Those sketches are white because those sketches are not fully defined, are not fully constrained. When you have a fully constrained sketch, then this sketch is green. If the sketch is white, that means that this sketch is under constraint. And if the color of the sketch is magenta, that means that your sketch is over-defined. And we're going to show all of this here in this lecture. So here we have this line. Now we can click on this line at this point and we can position this point anywhere where we want. Which means that this sketch is not fully defined. This line is not fully defined. To fully define this line, we can go here and we can select here a tool constraint. This one here. And now we can click on this line. And now here we can add a dimension, as you can see. We can add this dimension, or we can right click, and you can go with horizontal measure direction, this one here, or we can right click and we can go with vertical measure direction, this one here, like this. Now let's create here a dimension, this one here. Here we have the value. If you want to change the value, you can double click here, and now here you can change the value. For example, we can go to 500, we can hit enter, or we can go with OK here, like this. This line is still not fully defined. So let's go here to the constraint, like this. Let's select this horizontal vector here. Let's select this line. Now here we can define an angle, as you can see. Let's click here. Let's double click here. Let's go with 45 degrees. Let's hit enter. And now you can see that this line here is green, which means that this line is fully defined. So if you try to move this line now, this is not possible. So each time you create a sketch, you want to make sure that your sketch is fully defined. Now let's select here a constraint again. Let's select this line. Let's put here a dimension, like this. Now you can see that here we have magenta color, which means that our sketch is over defined. So this is also not good for you, so we're going to delete this dimension. We can select this dimension, and let's go with delete, like this. As well, here we have a circle, so we can go here to the constraint, we can click on the circle, and now here we have the diameter. We can change the diameter by double clicking on the value, and we can go with 200 and hit enter, like this. And now we can see that this circle is still not fully defined. We can move this circle in the space. Now we have to define the relative position of the circle to the origin. So we can go here to the dimension, we can click here in the center, we can click here at the origin. And we can go right click. Let's go with vertical dimension, like this. Now let's select here constraint again. Let's click on this point and this point here, like this. Right click. Let's go with horizontal, like this. And now our circle here is fully defined. Now let's select here a line. Let's create a line something like this. Let's create another line like this. Now let's select this line. Now we can see that this tool here is active. If we don't select any object, then this tool here is not active. So let's select this line here, like this. Let's go here, let's select here this tool. Now here we have constraint definition. So what constraint can we apply here? We can go with the length, we can go with fixed, horizontal, and vertical. For example, if we want to make this line horizontal, we can select here horizontal. Let's click OK. And now we can see that this line here is horizontal. You can select this line. Let's click here. And you can go, for example, with vertical. Like this. And now we can see that this line here is vertical. Let's click OK. Now let's select this line again. Let's select this tool. Now we can add here a length. Like this. Let's click OK. So this is also another way how you can add a length here. As well, you can use this tool and add a length. Here we have two rectangles. Now for example, if we select this line, now we can stretch this rectangle. If you want to avoid this stretching, we can fix this rectangle by using Fix Together tool. So let's go here, let's click on this arrow, and here you will find Fix Together. This one here. Now we can select those four lines, like this. Let's click OK. Now if you try to stretch this rectangle, you can't. You can see that those four lines of the rectangle are fixed. If you go to this rectangle, those lines are not fixed together. As well, here we have a symbol Fix Together. Let's select here Constraint tool. Now we can select this line and this line here, and now we can add this dimension, as you can see. We can also get this dimension by selecting only this line, like this. Now as you can see here, this line changed the color to magenta because this would be overdefined, because we fixed our lines to random values that we have defined before when we were creating this rectangle. So let's delete this dimension, like this. Let's select the constraint. Now we can select this line and we can add this dimension, like this. Now let's select the line here, like this. Let's select here another line. Let's create something like this. Now let's go here to the constraint. Let's select this line and this line here. Now we can define an angle here, as you can see. But we can right click now, and now here we have different options. We can go with distance, perpendicular, parallelism, coincident, and so on. Let's go here with parallelism. And now those two lines, as you can see, are parallel. Let's go back here, undo. Let's select constraint again. Let's select this line here and this line here, right click. Let's go with perpendicular, like this. Now we can see that those two lines are perpendicular here, like this. Let's go here. Here we have the circle and here we have a line. Now we want to make sure that this line will look tangent to this circle. There are a few ways how we can do this. We can go here to the constraint. We can select this line, this circle. We can go right click and we can go here with tangency, like this. And here is a symbol of tangency. That's one way. Let's go undo. The second way, we can click here on this arrow, and here we have an option, contact constraint. Now we can select this line here, this circle, and now here we have a contact tangent. Let's go back, undo. The third way is that we can select this line, hold Ctrl, this circle. We can go here and select this tool, and now here we can select the tangency, like this. Let's click OK. So this is how you can define the tangency. Now if you want to fix those 2 points together, if you want to merge those 2 points, you can select this tool here, contact constraint. You can select this point, and now those 2 points are merged together. Now here we have this rectangle and this line. Now we want to make sure this line here will be always in the middle of those 2 lines, this one here and this one here. So we can use the tool symmetry. So we can select this line, hold Ctrl, this line and this line here, and you can go here and select this tool. And now here we have an option symmetry, like this. Let's click OK. And now we can see this line is right in the middle of those 2 lines. Now if we stretch this rectangle, we can see it's always in the middle. Now let's go here to this sketch, this one here. Here already we have tangent relations, as we can see when we were creating this sketch. Now we want to constrain this sketch here. We have also option auto constraint. So let's go here, let's click on this arrow, and here we have an option auto constraint, like this. And now let's select this object here, this one here, like this. Let's go with OK. And now here we have some dimensions of the radius, this dimension here, and so on. So you can also use auto constraint tool. Now here we have an option, dimensional constraint and geometrical constraint. Now they're on. We can go here and we can turn off those constraints, like this. And now we don't see dimensional constraints. We can also turn off this one here, geometrical constraint, and now we don't see any constraints at all. Now, for example, if we go here and select constraint, we go to this line, we don't see anything. But now if you turn on dimensional constraints, now we can see here we have two constraints, this one here and this one here. So let's delete this one here. Now let's turn on here geometrical constraints, like this. Now let's select here a profile. Let's start here with horizontal line, like this. Let's go here, let's select here tangent arc, like this. And let's go with escape. Now here we can see that we have a horizontal line, and here we have a symbol H. And here we have a tangent relation symbol. This is because we have on here geometrical constraints. Let's turn this off here. Now let's select here profile again. Let's go here with horizontal line, like this. Let's go here to the arc, like this. And now we don't see those symbols here because we have off here geometrical constraints. So when you create a sketch, make sure that you have here geometrical constraints and dimensional constraints on. Now if we want to add here constraints, we can use auto constraints tool. So we can go here, auto constraint, and with auto constraint we can automatically create dimensions and fully constrain the sketch. Let's select this sketch, like this. Let's go with OK. Now here we have a H horizontal line, tangent relation, and dimensions of the line and the arc. So this is how you can add geometrical and dimensional constraints. So always make sure that your sketch is fully defined, that your sketch is green. You don't want that your sketch will be underdefined white, or that your sketch will be overdefined magenta. So over constraint means adding more dimensions than required, and underdefined means adding less dimensions than required. In this chapter, we're going to show sketch-based features. Sketch-based features we can find in the part design workbench. Those features are used to create basic and simple parts, and they require a simple sketch. So let's go here to the start, mechanical design. Let's go to the part design workbench. Let's go with part 1 name and OK. Before we use sketch-based features, we have to create a sketch. We can create a sketch on those planes. This one here, or this one here. So let's select this plane here, or you can select the plane here, XY plane. And now let's go here and let's create a sketch. So let's select here rectangle. Let's start here at the origin. Let's create rectangle like this. Now you can see this angle is not fully defined, so we can go here and we can select here auto constraint. We can select all of those lines here and let's go with OK. And now this sketch is fully defined. Dimensions for now are not important. Now if we want to use this sketch to create a 3D model, we have to go here, exit workbench, like this. And now we're going to show how to use a tool pad. Pad is the process of taking a two-dimensional profile, as we have here, and converting it into 3D feature by giving it some thickness. So let's go here to the sketch-based features toolbar. If you don't see this toolbar, you can right click here and you can find here this toolbar. So the first tool that we have here is pad. Let's select this tool, like this. Now make sure that here on a profile surface, this sketch is selected. And now here we can see the process of creating a 3D model. Here we have the first limit, type dimension. So we can put here the length. Now we have by the default 20, but we can increase this. We can go, for example, to 40 and we can hit tab, like this. As well, here we have reverse direction. Now we have in this direction, as you can see the arrow here, but we can go to the opposite direction. So we can click here, reverse direction, and now we go in this direction, like this. As well, here we have an option mirrored extent. We can check this one, and now we have in both direction the same value, 40 millimeters. But we don't want this now, so let's uncheck this, and let's go here with reverse direction. Here we have option preview, so we can click here, and now we can see the preview. And now if we are satisfied with this, we can go and click OK. And this is our model that we have created. So we project two-dimensional profile to 3D feature. Now if we go here to our specification tree, we can open part body, and here we can see the pad 1. Pad 1 consists of sketch 1. If we want to change some properties here on the pad 1, we can double click here, and now we can change here. For example, we can go with a length 50, and let's go with preview, let's go with OK. If you want to change something in the sketch, you can double click here in the sketch, like this. You know, for example, we can change this dimension. Let's go with 200 and hit enter, like this. And now let's go here, exit workbench. And we can see that those changes has been applied here as well. Now as we shown, we can create a sketch on those three standard planes, but as well we can create a sketch on those faces of this 3D model. For example, we can create a sketch on this face here. So we can select this face and we can go here, sketch. And now for example, we can select here circle and we can create here a circle, like this. Now we won't put any dimensions here, so we can go here, exit workbench. Let's go here to the pet. And here we have a length 50 millimeters. We can change this. For example, we can go with 25. Let's go with tab, like this. And let's go with preview. Let's click OK. Now if you want to delete the pet in Sketch 2, you can right click here and you can go here with delete. Let's go with OK. And now we have only this body. Now let's go here to the pet. Let's double click on the pet. Here we can see we have a first limit. We can click here on the more, and now here we have a second limit. So here we have a first limit in one direction, 50 millimeters length, and here we can define the second limit in the other direction, in this direction here down. So we can go here, for example, with 25. Let's go with tab, like this, and now here we can see we have 25 in this direction. Let's go with preview, like this. Remember, if you check your mirrored extent, then in both directions you have the same value. But here for the first and second limit, you can put a different length. Let's go with OK. And this is it. This is a simple way how you can create a 3D model. In the previous lecture, we showed how we can use a toolpad. With toolpad, we can add material by converting a two-dimensional profile to 3D feature. Now we're going to show a tool pocket. With tool pocket, we can remove material from the geometry by extruding a sketch. So first, let's create a new 3D model. So let's go to this plane, XY, and let's go to the sketch. Let's go here to the rectangle. Let's start here at the origin. Let's create a rectangle with random dimensions. Let's go here to the auto constraint. Let's select this rectangle. Let's click OK here. Let's exit workbench, like this. Let's go to the pad here. And let's go here with 50 and let's go with OK. And this is our 3D model. Now we're going to create a new sketch here on this face. So let's go to this face here and let's go and let's create a sketch. Let's select here this circle. Let's create a circle here at any position with some random radius. Now let's exit the workbench, like this. And now we're going to cut material with this circle. So we're going to use this tool, pocket. Here we can define the first limit dimension, so we can go with depth 50 millimeters, we can go with the preview, and this is our result. As we can see, we can change here the depth, we can go, for example, 20, like this. Let's go with depth, let's go with preview, and now we got this result. We can also go here reverse directions, but we don't have anything to cut in other direction. Now here we have an option reverse side. So what that means, let's click this and let's see what we're gonna get. And let's go with preview. Now we can see that this portion of the 3D model has been saved and the rest of the material has been cut. Now let's go here with depth 50. Let's go with tab. Let's go with preview. Now we got cylinder. Now we check here reverse. Let's go with preview. Now we got this. So as you can see, you can cut material inside of this circle and you can cut material outside of this circle by clicking here reverse side. Like this or like this. So those are the basics how we can use a tool pocket. Now we're going to show how to work with rip feature and slot feature. The rip feature is composed of two items, a cross section and pad. The cross section controls the shape of the rip while the pad controls its direction. So let's show how this works. Let's go here to the XY plane. Let's create a new sketch. Let's go here to the circle and let's create a circle. Like this, with some random diameter. We can go here and let's put dimension, like this. Let's exit the sketch. like this. Now let's go here to the YZ plane. Let's create a new sketch. And now we're going to create a line that's going to be our path for this sketch here, for this circle. So let's go here to the line, and let's go here to the origin, and let's create a line with some angle here, like this. Now let's exit the sketch. Now here we have a cross section, this circle, and we have a path. And now we're going to sweep this circle along this path here. And for that we're going to use a tool rip. So let's select here tool rip. So first we have to select the profile, and the profile is this circle. Now we have to select the center curve. The center curve is this line here, so let's select this line, like this, and let's go here with preview, like this, and this is our result. Now the exact same result we can get with a tool path. So let's show this. Let's cancel this. Let's go here to the path. Let's select here the profile, this circle, like this. Let's go here to the more. And here we have direction. Let's uncheck normal to profile, and for the reference, let's select this line here, like this. And now we can go here with, for example, 100 millimeters. Let's go with 100, like this. Let's go with preview. And this is pretty much the same result. So what is the difference in this case? Let's cancel this. Let's go again to the rip. Let's select here the circle. Let's select this line. Let's go with preview. The difference is that here we have a profile control. Now we have by default keep angle. We can change this, we can go pulling direction. So the keep angle option sweeps the profile in the direction normal to the center curve, as well as the path. But here we can go with pulling direction. This one here, and the pulling direction option sweeps the profile along the direction that you define. For example, here we can define a new selection. So here in the selection we can select, for example, this plane here, XY plane, and let's go here with move profile to path, and let's go with preview. And now we got this result, and this is the result that we couldn't get with a path. As well, we can select here a different plane. We can go, for example, with this one here, like this, and let's go with preview. And now we got this result, as you can see. Now let's cancel this, and let's change here the path. Now here we have a straight line, but we can also have a curve. So let's go here to the part body, and let's go here to the sketch 2, like this. Let's delete this line. Let's select here spline. Let's go here from the origin, like this. Let's create some spline. For example, like this. Let's go with escape. And let's exit the workbench, like this. Now let's go here to rip again. Let's select the profile here, and let's select here center curve. Let's select this curve, like this, and let's go with preview. And this is our result. We can also change here the profile control, so we can go with pulling direction. We can select this plane, for example, move profile to path, and let's go with preview. And now we got this result. So the rip comment requires a center curve and profile, but as well we don't have to use only curve. We can use some edge as a path. So let's cancel here, and let's open a new file. Let's open a file rip. This one here. So here we have this edge, as you can see, this one here, and here we have a profile. And now we want to sweep this profile along this edge. We can also for that use a rip. So let's go here to the rip. Now we have to select a profile. Let's select this profile, and here for the center curve, let's select this curve, like this. Let's go with preview. And this is the result. Here on the profile control, we have a third option, and this is reference surface. The reference surface option is useful while sweeping a profile along a non-planar path, and this is non-planar path. So let's select your reference surface, and let's select this surface, like this, and let's go with preview. And now we got a slightly different result. Now we're going to show the second tool, and this is slot tool. With a slot tool, instead of adding material, we're going to remove material. So let's go here to the slot, like this. Let's select this profile here, this one here, and here for a center curve, let's select this edge, like this. Let's go to preview. And let's click OK. And now we got this result. Now as you can see, we have remove material here. We didn't add material, we have remove material. If you want to remove more material, we can go here. Let's go here to the slot 1. Let's go here to the sketch tree, this one here, and now we can stretch this rectangle like this, for example, and let's exit the workbench. And now we got this result. So this is also possible. So with the rip, you add a material, and with the slot, you cut material. So this is how you can work with the tools rip and slot. The next tool that we're going to show is the tool mirror. If the part is symmetric, you can replicate individual features of the entire body. All you need is the feature that you want to mirror, and you need a face or a plane to use as a mirroring element. So here we have this body, and now we want to mirror this body about this face here. For that, we're going to use a tool mirror. Here we have transformation features toolbar. If you don't see it, you can right click here, and you can go down here, and here you will find transformation features. Here we have a tool mirror. Let's select this tool. The first thing that we have to do is select a plane or a face. So let's select this face, this one here, and now we can see the mirroring element is this face. Object to mirror is this current solid, and let's click OK. And this is our result. Now, for example, we want to mirror those two bodies about this plane here. So let's go to the mirror, let's select this face, and let's click OK. And this is it. So this is how you can mirror a solid body about a face. We can also create a plane, so we can go here to the plane. Let's select this face. Let's go with the offset distance 20 millimeters and click OK. And now we're going to mirror this body here about this plane. So let's go here to the mirror. Let's select this plane, and here we have a result. Let's click OK. And now here we have two bodies, this one here and this one here. So this is how you can use a tool mirror. The next tool that we have here on the dress up features toolbar is shell. Shell takes a solid geometry and makes it hollow. So here we have a solid geometry, and now we want to make a hollow geometry. So let's go here, let's select shell. So here we have inside thickness and outside thickness, and here we have faces to remove. For example, let's go with this face to remove. This one here. And let's go here with inside thickness 2 millimeters. Let's go with OK. And now we got this result, as you can see. Let's go back. Let's select shell again. Now we can select here multiple faces to remove. For example, we can select this face here, and this face here. Now we can go here, default inside thickness 1 millimeter, and we can go with outside 5 millimeters. Let's click OK. Now here we have the overall thickness 6 millimeters, and those three faces are removed. This one here, and this one here. As you can see, this is the result. Let's go back. Let's go here to the shell again. Let's select your faces to remove. Let's select this one here, and this one here again. Now let's go here with a default inside thickness 1 millimeter. Here we have an option other thickness faces. So let's select here. And now, for example, we want that the thickness will be 1 millimeter except on this face here, where we want a thickness 10 millimeters. Let's go with tab. And let's select this face here, where we want thickness 5 millimeters. Let's go with a tab. Let's click OK. And now, as you can see, we removed those three faces. Here we have a thickness 1 millimeter. Here, and on this face here. But here we have a thickness 10 millimeters, and here we have a thickness 5 millimeters. So you can add different thicknesses on different faces. So those are all options that you have here with a tool shell. Now we're going to show how to work with rip feature and slot feature. The rip feature is composed of two items, a cross section and pad. The cross section controls the shape of the rip, while the pad controls its direction. So let's show how this works. Let's go here to the XY plane. Let's create a new sketch. Let's go here to the circle, and let's create a circle. Like this, with some random diameter. We can go here and let's put dimension, like this. Let's exit the sketch. like this. Now let's go here to the YZ plane. Let's create a new sketch. And now we're going to create a line that's going to be our path for this sketch here, for this circle. So let's go here to the line, and let's go here to the origin, and let's create a line with some angle here, like this. Now let's exit the sketch. Now here we have a cross section, this circle, and we have a path. And now we're going to sweep this circle along this path here. And for that we're going to use a tool rip. So let's select here tool rip. So first we have to select the profile, and the profile is this circle. Now we have to select the center curve. The center curve is this line here, so let's select this line, like this, and let's go here with preview, like this, and this is our result. Now the exact same result we can get with a tool path. So let's show this. Let's cancel this. Let's go here to the path. Let's select here the profile, this circle, like this. Let's go here to the more. And here we have direction. Let's uncheck normal to profile, and for the reference, let's select this line here, like this. And now we can go here with, for example, 100 millimeters. Let's go with 100, like this. Let's go with preview. And this is pretty much the same result. So what is the difference in this case? Let's cancel this. Let's go again to the rip. Let's select here the circle. Let's select this line. Let's go with preview. The difference is that here we have a profile control. Now we have by default keep angle. We can change this, we can go pulling direction. So the keep angle option sweeps the profile in the direction normal to the center curve, as well as the path. But here we can go with pulling direction. This one here, and the pulling direction option sweeps the profile along the direction that you define. For example, here we can define a new selection. So here in the selection we can select, for example, this plane here, XY plane, and let's go here with move profile to path, and let's go with preview. And now we got this result, and this is the result that we couldn't get with a path. As well, we can select here a different plane. We can go, for example, with this one here, like this, and let's go with preview. And now we got this result, as you can see. Now let's cancel this, and let's change here the path. Now here we have a straight line, but we can also have a curve. So let's go here to the part body, and let's go here to the sketch 2, like this. Let's delete this line. Let's select here spline. Let's go here from the origin, like this. Let's create some spline. For example, like this. Let's go with escape, and let's exit the workbench, like this. Now let's go here to rip again. Let's select the profile here, and let's select here center curve. Let's select this curve, like this, and let's go with preview. And this is our result. We can also change here the profile control, so we can go with pulling direction. We can select this plane, for example, move profile to path, and let's go with preview. And now we got this result. So the rip comment requires a center curve and profile, but as well we don't have to use only curve. We can use some edge as a path. So let's cancel here, and let's open a new file. Let's open a file rip. This one here. So here we have this edge, as you can see, this one here, and here we have a profile. And now we want to sweep this profile along this edge. We can also for that use a rip. So let's go here to the rip. Now we have to select a profile. Let's select this profile, and here for the center curve, let's select this curve, like this. Let's go with preview. And this is the result. Here on the profile control, we have a third option, and this is reference surface. The reference surface option is useful while sweeping a profile along a non-planar path, and this is non-planar path. So let's select your reference surface, and let's select this surface, like this, and let's go with preview. And now we got a slightly different result. Now we're going to show the second tool, and this is slot tool. With a slot tool, instead of adding material, we're going to remove material. So let's go here to the slot, like this. Let's select this profile here, this one here, and here for the center curve, let's select this edge, like this. Let's go to preview, and let's click OK. And now we got this result. Now as you can see, we have remove material here. We didn't add material, we have remove material. If you want to remove more material, we can go here. Let's go here to the slot 1. Let's go here to the sketch tree, this one here, and now we can stretch this rectangle like this, for example, and let's exit the workbench. And now we got this result. So this is also possible. So with the rip, you add a material, and with the slot, you cut material. So this is how you can work with the tools rip and slot. Now we're going to show tools shaft and groove. Here we have tool shaft, and here we have a tool groove. With shaft tool, we can take a two-dimensional profile and revolve it about a center line to create a 3D geometry. And with the groove tool, we can remove material from the geometry by revolving a sketch about an axis. So let's show how this works. Let's go here to this plane, YZ plane, and let's create a new sketch. First, let's go here and let's select your axis. Let's start here at the origin, like this, and let's create here a vertical axis, because we're gonna revolve our sketch about this axis. Now let's select your profile. Let's start here, let's go up, let's go here with the horizontal line to the left, let's go with the vertical line, let's go here with the horizontal like this, let's go with the vertical, horizontal, let's go here with vertical, horizontal again, vertical, like this, and let's finish here. Dimensions are not important, but let's go here to the auto constraint, let's select those lines, let's click OK here, like this. Now you can select here constraint, let's click here in the origin and at this point here, like this, and now our sketch is fully defined. Now let's exit the workbench, like this. Let's go here and let's select the tool shaft, and here we can see the preview. So now we revolve our sketch around this axis here. So here we have a limits, first angle, second angle. Now we have a first angle 360. Let's go here to the preview. So this is the result. Here we have the profile surface, this is sketch 1, and here we have an axis, and this is sketch axis that we have created. Now let's cancel this, and now we can see that our sketch is selected. Now let's click here, now let's go here to the shaft, and now we have to select here our profile. Let's select this profile, and let's go with preview, and this is the result. Now let's go here with the first angle, let's go with 150. Let's hit tab. Let's go here with the second angle, let's go with 100, let's hit tab. Let's go with preview, and now we got this result. Now in one direction we have 150 degrees, and the second direction we have 100 degrees. Now for example, we can go with second angle 0, let's hit tab, let's go with preview, like this. Here we have option reverse direction, and let's go with preview. Now we got this result. But let's go here with reverse direction again and preview. Let's check here thick profile. Here we also have an option of the thin shaft, thickness 1 and thickness 2. Now we can increase the thickness 1, we can see the changes here, and we can increase the thickness 2 to the outside like this. Now we can see the changes. Let's go with preview and let's click OK. And this is our result. So this is how we can use here shaft tool. Now let's go here to the part body. Let's double click on the shaft. Let's go here to the thin profile. Let's uncheck this. Let's go here with 360. Let's click OK, like this. And now we're going to show tool groove. So with groove tool, we can remove material from the geometry by revolving a sketch about an axis. So first we have to create a sketch. So let's go here to this plane, YZ plane. Let's create a new sketch, like this. Let's select here a circle, and let's create a circle like this, with some random radius. And let's exit the workbench, like this. Now let's go here to the groove. Now here we have the profile surface sketch, this one here, but here we have to select an axis. So let's go with the mouse to this 3D model, and here we can see an axis. So let's click here, like this. And now let's go here to the preview, and here we can see the preview. This is our result. So we are removing material around this axis. Let's go with OK, as you can see now. Let's go here to the groove again, double click. We can also go here with the first angle, second angle. We can go, for example, here with 100, and let's go here with 100. Let's go with step. And now this is our result. Let's go with preview, and this looks like this. Now here we have an option reverse side. Let's go here with reverse side. Let's go with preview. And now we got this result. Now we can see that this one here, material is saved, and the rest of material is cut. We can click OK, and now we got this result. Let's go to the groove again, double click. Let's go here, reverse side again. Like this, let's go with preview. Like this. Here we have also option thick profile. Let's check this one here. Here we can go with thickness 1 and thickness 2. Let's go with 1 millimeter and 1 millimeter, like this. Let's go with preview, and let's go with OK. And now this is our result, as you can see. So those are all options how you can use a tool shaft and groove. In this lecture, we're going to show tool edge fillet. The edge fillet tool breaks the sharp edges of a model and blends them. And there is no need for a sketch to create a fillet. So here we have the sharp edges, and now we can break those sharp edges and we can blend them. So let's go here to the dress up features toolbar. If you don't see this toolbar, you can go right click here, and here you will find dressed up features toolbar. The first tool that we have here is edge fillet. Let's select this tool. Now here we have the dialog box edge fillet definition. So we have to define the radius, we have to define the object to fillet, and here we have selection mode. Let's go first with the selection mode tangency. Let's go with radius 5 millimeters. Let's select, for example, this edge here and this edge here, like this. We can go with a preview, and now we can click OK. And now we have no longer here sharp edges. Let's go to the fillet again. For example, we can select this edge here, this one here, and let's go with OK. And now here we have a fillet. We can also go here, and you can, for example, select this edge here, like this. Let's go with OK, and now here we have a fillet. Now let's go here to the fillet. Here we have the selection mode tangency. So what it means? So if we select this edge here, then all edges will be selected that are tangent to this edge. So let's select this edge, and now we can see that those edges here, this one here, this one here, 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 and here, are also selected because they are tangent to this edge here. Now let's go with OK. And now here we have a fillet like this. Now let's go back. Like this, let's select this tool again, edge fillet. Now instead of a tangency, let's select here minimal. When you have a minimal here, then you select this edge, only this edge will be selected. The other edges that are tangent will be ignored. So let's go with OK, and we got this result, which is different result. Let's go to the edge fillet again, and down here we have an option conic parameters. So by the default, the edge fillets have a circular arc profile, as we can see here. If we go here, we can see this is circular arc profile, but we can also create a conic arc profile. So you can check here conic parameter, and you can go here, for example, to maximum, and now let's select this edge, for example. Let's go with OK. And now we can see the difference between this fillet here and this fillet here. Here we have a circular arc profile, and here we have a conic arc profile. Let's go here to the edge fillet again. Let's uncheck here conic parameter, and let's go here to the selection mode. Let's go here to the intersection with selected features. With this option, we can fillet the intersection between two features. For example, we can select this feature here as an object to fillet, and here selected features, we can click here and we can select this feature here. And now we can see the red area here. This is intersection area, and on this area we're gonna create a fillet. So let's go with OK, and now we got this result. Of course, you can go manually and click one edge by one to get the same result. Let's go back now, like this. Let's go here to the edge fillet. Let's go here to the more, and here we have some other options. And here we have an option limiting elements. So what it means, for example, we want to create a fillet from this point here to this point here. So first we have to select the edge that we want to fillet, but let's go here with minimal. Let's select this edge, like this. Now let's go here to the limiting elements, And now we have to select a point where we want to start our fillet. Let's go to this point. Here we can change direction. We can go to this direction, or we can click on this arrow and then we can go to this direction. But let's go to this direction and let's go with OK. And now here we have a fillet from this point here to this point here. Now let's select the edge fillet again. Let's go here to the more. And here we have an option blend corners. Blend corners is used to blend edge fillets that come together at corner. For example, here we have 3 edges that are meeting at this point. And now we can blend those fillets. So let's select this edge here, this one here, and this one here. And now we can go here to the blend corners. We can go here, right click, and let's go with create by edges. Like this, let's go with OK. And now we can see that those 3 fillets are blended here at this point, at this corner. Now let's go to another example. Let's go to the fillet 2 file. Now we're going to show how we can trim the intersection portion of 2 fillets. So let's go here to the fillet. Let's select this edge here, and let's select this edge here, like this. And now if we click OK, this won't work, because those 2 fillets are intersecting with each other. Let's go with OK. Let's go with yes. Now if we want to avoid that, we have to check here, trim ribbons. So we have to trim the intersection portions. So let's go with OK now. And now it works. Now you can see, because those 2 fillets intersecting with each other, and now we have to trim this intersection. But now here we have a problem. As you can see, here we have a deformation on this edge here. If we want to avoid this deformation, let's go to the part body, let's go to the edge fillet, let's go to more. And here we have edges to keep. Let's select here, let's select this edge here. Let's go with OK now. Now we can see this edge is not deformed. Now let's go to the fillet 1 file again, this one here. Now we can click here on this arrow, and here we have another options of fillet. Here we have the variable radius fillet. So we can use this tool to create a fillet with varying radius along the selected edge. So for example, we can select this edge like this, and now here we have 2 points. This one here and this one here. And here we have a radius 5 and 5. You can double click here on the radius, and you can go here with, for example, 15. Let's go with OK. And now here we have a 15, and here we have a 5. Let's go with OK now. Now we can see how the radius of the fillet is different along this edge. So this is how you can use this tool, varying fillet radius. We have here another tool, and this is chordal fillet. We use this tool to create a fillet by specifying its chord length instead of a radius. So what is the chord length? The chord length is the distance between the endpoints of the fillet profile. So let's select this tool. And now here we have to specify the chord length. Let's go with 5. Like this. Let's select here this edge, for example, and let's go with OK. And now we got this result, as you can see. Now you can see those 2 results are different, because here we have a radius 5 millimeters, and here we have a chord length 5 millimeters. So the chord length is the length between this point here, or this edge here, and this point here on this edge, as you can see. This is the chord length. Now let's go here to the 3rd example. This is face fillet. Now we're going to show another tool here. Let's click on this arrow, and here we have a tool, face fillet. Let's select this tool. With this tool we can create a fillet between 2 faces, and those faces are not required to be connected with each other. But now, for example, let's create a fillet between this face here and this face here. So we can select this face and this face. Let's go with OK, and here we have a fillet. Let's go back. Let's select this tool again, face to face. Now, for example, we want to create a fillet between this face here and this face here. And this is also possible. Those 2 faces are not connected, but it's possible to create a fillet. Let's select this face and this face. Now let's go with a radius 30, and let's click OK. And now here we have a fillet, as you can see. Let's go back. And the last tool that we have here that we're going to show is 3-tangent fillet. With 3-tangent fillet, we can create a fillet between 3 faces. It replaces the middle face with fillet. So for the faces to fillet, we're going to select this face and this face here. And faces to remove, we're going to select this one here. And this face will be replaced with fillet. This is the middle face. So let's go with OK. And as you can see, This face has been replaced with fillet. So those are all options how you can use a tool fillet. Now we're going to show how we can edit our sketches and our features on the specification tree here. So here we have this 3D model, and here we have the specification tree. If we open here part body, we can see that here we have some features: pad 1, pad 2, pocket, pad, sketch, and so on. As well, we can see that here we have a name, part 1. If we want to change this name, we can right click here and we can go here to the properties. Here we have an option transparency as well, so we can increase the transparency and we can apply it like this, and now we can see the result here. But let's go here to the 0. Let's apply. Let's go here to the mass step. Here we have some general information about our model: density, volume, mass, surface, inertia, and so on. Here we have a product, and here we can change the name. So here we have the part number, so let's call it A like this. Let's apply. We can see the changes here on the tree. Let's click OK. So this is how you can change the name. As well, if you want to change the name of the part body, you can also right click, properties. You can go here to the feature properties tab like this, and you can change the name here. We can call it body 1 like this. Let's apply. Let's click OK. As well, you can change the name of the features and sketches. You can right click on the feature. We can go here, properties, and you can call it feature 1 like this. Let's go with apply and OK. As well, you can change the name of the sketch. Right click, properties. The same way you can change here the name of the sketch. But let's go with OK here. Now, for example, if you want to change the geometry of the sketch 1, you can double click on the sketch 1 like this. And here we have a sketch 1. And now, for example, we want to change this dimension here. So we can double click on this dimension, and let's go here with 100, and let's hit enter like this. Let's exit here the workbench, and now here we can see the changes. If we open this sketch 1, we can see that this sketch 1 consists of axis, geometry, and constraints. So here we have the geometry, line, point, and so on, and here we have constraint, as you can see. If we want to change the property of the feature, we can double click on the feature like this. And now, for example, for the length, we want to go with 40, and let's hit enter like this, and we can see the changes here. If you want to delete some feature, you can go here. For example, let's delete this pocket. You can go here, right click, and you can go with delete. Let's go with OK here. And now we don't see this feature. As well, here we have an option that we can hide our model. So we can go to the body 1, right click, and you can go with hide show like this. And now our body is hidden. And now we can see that this icon of the body is transparent because our body is hidden. If we want to show our body, we can right click, and let's go here with hide show like this. As well, if you want to change the properties of some feature, you can go, for example, to the cylinder, and you can double click here. And now you can change the pad properties here. For example, the length, we can go with 20, and let's go with OK like this. So this is also the option how you can change the feature properties. So this is how you can edit your sketches and your features. In this chapter, we're going to show and explain how to create assembly. Assembly consists of 2 or more parts that have defined relations between them. For now, we showed how to create a sketch by using Sketcher Workbench and how to create a part by using Part Design Workbench. And now we're going to show how to create assembly by using Assembly Design Workbench. So let's go here to the start, and let's go here to the Assembly Design. And now here we are in the Assembly Design Workbench. There are 2 methods how we can create assembly. The first one is bottom-up assembly, where we insert parts that we have created into assembly, and then we define the relations between those parts. And the second one is top-down assembly, where we create parts right in the assembly file. Top-down assembly method we're going to show in the last lecture of this chapter. So if we look at our specification tree, here we have a product. So we don't have a part here anymore, because this is assembly. And always when you have here a product, that means that this is assembly. Now assembly can consist of parts and components. So what is the component? Component is assembly or sub-assembly that consists of 2 or more parts. So what is then the difference between the component and assembly? The difference is that you can save this assembly file and then you can insert this assembly file in some other file. While component, you can't save it and you can't insert into some another file. So why would then we use components? We use a component to group a parts without generating a lot of files. So now let's show how this works. So here we have product 1. So this is our assembly. Now let's create another assembly inside of this assembly. If we have assembly inside of another assembly, this is then subassembly. So let's go here to the product structure tools toolbar. Make sure that you have this toolbar here. If you don't see it, you can right click. And here you will find product structure tools. The first option that we have here is component. Then here we have a product. And then here we have a part. So let's go here with product like this. Now nothing happens because we have to select where we want to add this product. So let's select here the product 1. And now here we have a product 2, as you can see. Now here we have this assembly and this is the main assembly. And this one here, assembly, is part of this main assembly and this assembly is then sub-assembly. Now let's go here, let's add another assembly. This one here, let's click here on the product 1 like this. And now here we have 2 sub-assemblies and main assembly. Now let's create a component. So let's go here, let's select component, let's select product 1. Now here we have the same name product, so we don't have a different name, component. But here on the icon we can see this is component because here assembly we have this file, as you can see. And now let's select here product 2 and let's go here to the part, like this. And here we can click on the plus and here we have a part 1. Let's select product 2 again. Let's select the part. Here we have a question. Do we want to define a new origin point for the new part? Let's go with no for now, like this. And now here we have subassembly 2, product 2, consists of 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Now let's go to the product 3. Let's select the part. Let's go with no, like this. Let's select product 3. Let's select the part. Let's go with no. And now here we have another subassembly. And this subassembly consists of part 3 and part 4. Now let's select here this component, product 4. Let's select the part. Let's go with no. Let's select here again. Let's select the part. Let's go with no. Let's open this and here we have 2 parts. So this component here, this subassembly consists of 2 parts as well. So here we have the main assembly, product 1, and here we have 3 subassemblies. 2 assemblies, product 2 and product 3, and 1 component, product 4. And now we want to save this. So let's go here to the file. Let's go here, save management. And now here we have all files that we can save. So here we have 6 parts, as we can see here. And here we have 1, 2, 3 products, 3 assemblies. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 products, which means that this product here, product 4, which is component, is not saved. As we said before, we can't save components and then use them later in some other file. So let's save this now. Save as, like this. Let's go to the desktop. Let's call it product 1. Let's go with save. Let's go with OK. Now, for example, if you want to open product 2, this assembly, subassembly, in another window, you can right click. Let's go here to the product. And here we have an option, open in new window. Let's open it. And now you can see that this subassembly now is here main assembly. It's not subassembly anymore, consists of those 2 parts. Now we can also save this separately. We can go file, save as, and we can save this and then we can use this anytime we want. Let's go with save, like this. Let's give it a name. Let's call it sub B, like this. Here for the type of the file, we have a cat product by the default. For the part, we have get part, but you can change it, for example, to step file. So here we have a step, but by the default we have a cat product. Now let's go with save. Let's go with yes. Now let's close this one here. Now let's go here to the product 4. So this is the component. Let's go right click. Let's go here to the product object. And now you can see that here we don't have option open in new window because this component is only part of this product here, of this main assembly. We can save it separately and then use it in another file. So for example, Now we can delete this product too. Right click. Let's go with delete, like this. Now here we have only one subassembly and one component. Now if we want to add our subassembly B that we saved, we can select here product 1, and here we have an option existing component. Let's select this. Let's go to the desktop and let's find it our sub B. Here we have sub B. Let's open it. And now here we have our product 2 that we saved. So this is the difference between the parts, components, and assembly. So again, the difference between the component and assembly is that assembly you can save it and then you can recall it in some other file. While a component is only part of the same assembly file. Now we're gonna show how we can manipulate with our parts in the assembly. So here we have the product 1. So this is the assembly, and this assembly consists of two parts, part 2 and part 3. So this one here, you can see this blue one, this is part 2, and this one here is part 3. Now we're going to show how we can move those parts here in the assembly. So let's go here to the move toolbar. If you don't see this toolbar, you can right click and you will find here move toolbar. So the first tool that we have here is manipulation. So let's select this one. Now here we have a new dialog box. Here we have some options. So for example, we can drag our part along x-axis. Let's select here. Now let's select this component, and now we can move this part along x-axis. If we select here y, then we can move our part along y-axis. If you try to move along some other axis, this is not possible. Now here we have option Z, and now we can move our part along z-axis like this. Here we have an option drag along xy plane. So let's select this one. And now we can drag our part on the xy plane, as you can see. Here we have an option drag along yz plane. And now you can drag along yz plane. And here we have an option along xz plane. So you can now move along zx plane. This one here. As well, here we have an option for rotation. So we can rotate our part around x-axis here, for example, and now we can rotate, as you can see, around x-axis. Here we have an option rotate part around y-axis like this, and now you can rotate around y-axis like this. And here we have an option rotate the part around z-axis, and now we can rotate around the z-axis like this. And here we have an option drag part along any axis. So let's select this one. Now if we go to the part, now we can see that we can drag our part along this axis. We can go along this axis here, along this axis here. So we can select, for example, this axis, and now we can drag our part along this axis. Here we have an option move a part along any plane. So we can go here and now we can select any plane, for example, this one here, and now we can move our part along this plane. And here we have drag part around any axis. So for example, we can select this axis here, and now we can rotate our part around this axis like this. So this is how you can use a move tool. This is how you can move your part in the assembly. Let's click OK here. Now we're going to show here another tool, and this is snap. With this tool, you can move parts by snapping elements, edges, or planes of two parts. For example, let's select this one here. And now if we go here, let's go down, let's get closer. Let's go here to this cylindrical part, this one here. And you can see here a line. This line goes right through the center. Let's select this line. Now let's go here to this part. And here we can see this line that goes also right through the center of this part. Let's select here. And those two lines are aligned to each other. And now here we can change the side. You can click on this arrow and we have this side now. You can also click on this arrow here, you have this side. Click again here, you have this side. Let's click and let's go to the other side, like this. Now let's click anywhere here on the screen, like this. Now let's go here to the other side. Let's select here, snap again, like this. Let's select this green cylindrical part, like this. Now we can see this line goes through the center of this cylindrical part. And let's select this blue part, like this. And now those two lines snap to each other. Let's click anywhere on the screen. So this is how you can use a snap tool. Now let's go here, let's select move, and let's select here drag along any plane. Let's select this plane here, let's move this part somewhere to here, like this. Let's go with OK here. Now let's go here, let's click on this arrow, and here we have a tool, Smart Move. With this tool we can also snap two elements, for example edges or planes of two parts, but as well we can create constraint. So let's go here to the Smart Move. Now let's select this cylindrical face of this part here, and let's select this part here, like this. And now we can see that those two parts snap to each other. Now we can see that those two lines are aligned to each other. Now here we have an option, automatic constraint creation, but also here we have a more. So we can go here with automatic constraint creation. And here we have a quick constraint, contact, coincident, offset, angle, parallelism, perpendicularity, and so on. But let's check here, automatic constraint creation. This one here, let's go with OK. Like this. And now here on the left side, on the specification tree, we have constraints, as you can see. And here we have a fix, which I created when I inserted this part here, this blue one. And here we have also coincident 5 between part 3 and part 2 that we have created now. Now, for example, you can go here to the move, like this. And here we have an option with respect to constraints. So you can move your part with respect to constraints. So let's check this one. And now let's go here, drag part along any plane, this one. Let's select this plane, let's try to drag it. And now as you can see, we can only drag it in this direction because here we have a constraint. Now if we uncheck this one, now we can drag our part at any position, as you can see. And this is how you can move your part in the assembly. In this lecture, in the following lecture, we're going to show the bottom-up process of creating an assembly. In this lecture, we're going to show how we can insert an existing component, an existing part to our assembly. So first, let's create an assembly file. Let's go to the Start, Mechanical Design, Assembly Design. So here we have the product 1. Here we have the product structure tools. So we've shown before how to use component, product, and part. And now here we have an option, insert existing component. So let's select this one here. And now we have to select a component into which the existing component will be inserted. Let's select here product 1. Now we have to select our component. Let's go to the desktop. Let's find the file here, Lex. Let's open this file. So the first part that we insert into our assembly is the base part. And we want to fix this part, so we want that this part won't be movable relative to the coordinate system. To do that, we have to go here to the constraints toolbar. If you don't see this toolbar, you can right click here and you will find here constraints toolbar. And here we have one tool, and this is fix component. Let's select this tool and let's select this part like this. And here we have a symbol fix 1. And if we go here to the constraints now, we can click on the plus here. Here we have a fix 1, as we can see. Now if we try to move this part, now we can go here to the manipulation. And here we have an option with respect to the constraint. Let's check this. Let's go here along y-axis. If we try to move, this is not possible, it's fixed. Now if you uncheck this, we can move this, as you can see. Let's cancel this, and this is our first part. Now let's insert the second part. So you have two options. You can click here and then here existing component, or you can click here existing component and then click here product 1. Let's go here with the table and let's go with open. And now here we have our table. As you can see, this is part 3 that we have inserted here. Now let's go here to the move, like this. Let's select here along z-axis, let's go up, like this. And let's go here, rotate around z-axis, like this. And now let's go here along y-axis, like this. So this is our second part. Let's click OK here. Now let's go here to the product. Let's go here to the existing component. let's select here cut. Let's open. Like this. So here we have our part. Let's go here to the move. Let's go along z-axis. Let's go up like this. And let's insert the last part. So let's go here to the existing component. Let's go to the product one. Let's select your cover. This one here, and here's our cover. Let's go here to the move. Again, let's go here along z-axis. Let's go here like this. Let's go here, rotate around z-axis. Let's rotate it like this. Let's click OK. And now we have inserted 4 parts here. Now we have to define the relations between those parts by using the constraints that we have here. And that we're going to show in the next lecture. So in the previous lecture, we have inserted those 4 parts. And now we want to define the relations between those 4 parts. And for that, we're going to use constraints. And here we have a constraints toolbar. If you don't see it here, you can right click and you will find here constraints. The first constraint that we have here is coincident constraint. With this constraint, we can align 2 axes of 2 cylindrical parts. So let's select this tool and let's get closer like this. Now let's go here to this cylindrical face. And you can see the axis here that goes through the center of this cylindrical face. Let's click here like this. And now let's go here to this part. And here we can see the axis as well. Let's click here. And now here we have a symbol of coincident, as you can see, but nothing happens because we have to go here, down here, and here we have a tool update all. If you don't see it, you can right click here, and here we have update toolbar. So let's click here, update, like this. And now we can see that those 2 axes are aligned. Now let's go here to the move, like this. Let's try to move our part along y-axis. And let's go here with respect to constraint, like this. And this is possible, so we can move in this direction. And if you try to rotate around y-axis, this is also possible, as you can see. Because we want to make sure that our part has 0 degrees of freedom. So we want that our part will be fixed here. So let's go here to the part 3, right click. Let's go here to the part 3 object, and here we have component degrees of freedom. And here we can see that we have 2 degrees of freedom, rotation 1 and translation 1 that we shown before. We had rotation as we shown, and we have here translation. Now let's close this, like this. Let's go here to the coincident again. Let's select this face here, and let's select here on this part, this face, like this. Here we have coincident. Let's go with update, like this. Now if we check the degrees of freedom, right click, object, degrees of freedom. Now we only have translation as a degrees of freedom. Let's close it. To get 0 degrees of freedom, we have to apply another constraint. So let's go here, and here we have another constraint, and that is contact constraint. With this constraint, we can make 2 faces coincident with each other and opposite. So let's select this tool, like this. Now let's select this face here, this one here, and since we don't have a face here, we have cylindrical face here. Let's select this face here. Here we have some options, properties, but only available option is line contact. And now we can see this line here will be coincident with this face here, like this. Let's go with OK, and let's go with update, and this is our result. Now here we can see that here we have a line contact between this face and this cylindrical face here. Now let's check the degrees of freedom. So let's go to part 3, object. Let's go here, degrees of freedom, like this. And here we have information. There is no degree of freedom for part 3. Let's go with OK. And this is what we want. So if we go here to the move, let's check with respect to constraints. If you try to rotate, this is not possible. If you try to move, this is not possible. And this is what we want. Okay. And now let's define the constraints for this part here. We want to put this part right here. So first that we want to make sure that this face here is parallel with this face here. To do that, we have to go here to this tool, angle constraint. Let's select this face and this face here. And here we have options: perpendicularity, parallelism, and angle. And we want here parallelism, this one here. Let's click OK. And let's go with update. Like this. Now we can see that those two faces are parallel to each other. The second thing that we want to do is we want to select coincident. We want to select this cylindrical part here, like this axis, and this axis of this cylindrical hole here. Let's get closer, like this axis. And we want to make here coincident relation, so let's go with update. Like this. The next thing that we want to do here, we want to make sure that this part here will be right in the middle of this part here. To do that, we have to measure what is the distance here between those two faces and what is the width of this part. So let's go here, let's select here measure tool. So let's select this face here and this face here, and here we have 25 millimeters. Let's go with OK. Let's see what we have here, the width. Let's select this tool. Let's select this face here and this face here. And this is 20. So we want to create an offset distance between this face here and this face here, 2.5 millimeters. So let's select here a tool, offset constraint. This one here. Let's select this face and let's select this face, like this. Now here we have a message: this constraint is not fully redundant, but makes a redundant the displayed constraints. Let's go with OK. Now here we have constraint properties, and here down we have to define the offset value. So let's go here with 2.5, like this. Let's go with tab and let's click OK. Like this. And now let's go with update. And this is it. This is what we want. Now you can see this part is right in the middle between those two faces. If we check the degrees of freedom of this part, part 4, right click, object, degrees of freedom, we have 1 rotation. So we can rotate this part along this axis, along x-axis. So if we go here to the move, let's go here with rotation, and we can rotate this part, as you can see. And this is not what we want. Let's click OK here, and let's go again here to the angle constraint. Now let's select this face here and this face here, like this. Let's go here with an angle. Let's go with 15 degrees. Let's go with tab. Let's click OK. Let's go here with update. And here we have now 15 degrees. And now we know that this part is fixed. And the last part that we want to constrain is this part here. So let's go here to the coincident. Let's go here and let's go to this hole here, like this. Let's get closer and let's select this axis, like this. Now let's go here, this cylindrical part here, like this. Let's select this axis here and let's go here with update. And this is it. And we want to make sure that this part here will be right in the center between those two faces. So first let's measure the distance here. So let's go here to the measure between this face here and this face here, like this. This is 18 millimeters. Let's go with OK. Now let's measure the thickness of this part. Let's select this face and this face here. And this is 0.2 millimeters. Let's click OK. So the offset between this face here and this face here has to be 8.9 millimeters. So let's go here to the offset constraint. Let's select this face here and this face here. Let's go here with the offset 8.9 and let's go with OK. Now let's go with update, like this. And now we can see that this part is right in the center between those two faces. And this is our assembly that we have created. So this is how you can define constraints and how you can insert your parts. In this chapter, we're going to look at a drafting workbench. With drafting workbench, we can create drawings. Drawings are used to document a 3D model in 2D format. There we can include dimensions of our model and other information necessary for the manufacturing process. So here we have this model, and now we're going to create a new drawing file. So let's go here to the start, mechanical design, and here we have drafting workbench. So let's select this one. Now here we have a new drawing creation dialog box. Here we have few options. So first we have to select automatic layout. Here we have option that we select empty sheet. Here we have option that we select predefined view, for example here all views, or we can select front, bottom and right view, or front, top and left view. So let's go here with this one here, the last one. And down here we have some information about our sheet. So here we have a format A4, paper size, scale and standard. If we want to change this, we can go here to the modify, and now we can change here the standard. So we can go with some different than ISO, and you can change here the sheet style. So you can go with A0, A4 and so on. So we can go for example with A0, like this. Here we have an option to change the global scale, but we're gonna go for now 1:1. And here we have an option portrait or landscape. Let's go with OK, like this. And now here we have A0. Now let's click OK. And now here we have a drawing file, and we have here 3 views that we have selected. This one here, this one here, and this one here. So we have a front view, top view, and left view. Here we have specification tree. So here we have a drawing, sheet 1. As we can see here, sheet 1, and here we have 3 views, front, top, and left. Let's zoom out like this, and this is our sheet, A0 that we have selected. Now here we have our views. We can see that that front view has a right frame, which means this view is active. Now we can select this view, and now we can position those views anywhere on the sheet where we want. For example, let's go here, like this. If we want that this view will be active, we have to double click on this view. And now this view is red, as you can see. Or if we want that this view will be active, then we can double click here, like this. Now we can see this is scale 1:1. We can change here the scale. So for example, now this view is active. We can right click here, properties, and here we have a scale. So let's go here with 2:1. Let's go with apply and OK. Now we can see that this view has a scale 2:1. We can also position this view, as you can see, left or right, like this. We can select this view and we can go up and down, but we can go left to right, like this, because this view is aligned to this view, and this view is also aligned to this view. So this is the one way how we can change the scale. We can go also here to the specification tree. We can select, for example, top view. We can double click here, and now this view is red, this view is active view. We can right click also here, and we can go to the properties. We can change the scale also here. Let's go 2:1. Let's go with apply and OK. And let's double click on the front view, right click, properties, and let's go here 2:1. Let's go with apply and OK. And those are our views. Now we can select this view and we can go here, to the center like this. Now here we have our sheet 1. If we want to change the sheet size, we can right click here, properties, and now instead of the A0, we can go here, for example, to A4. But this is not what we want A0. But this is just for you to know where you can also change the format of the sheet. Let's go with OK. Now we can see that here we have a text. Front view scale 2:1, and this is really small. We can't see it from this perspective. So let's go here, let's double click here, like this, and now here we can write something else, or we can change, for example, here the height. So you can go here, for example, with 10, like this. Let's go with OK. And now this is more visible. As well, we can also go here. We can double click here. Let's select the text. Make sure that it's black. Like this. Let's go to 10. And OK. As well, here we also have a text. So let's go here. Let's select the text. Let's change the height. Let's go to 10 and OK. Okay, we didn't select. Let's go to 10. Like this. And OK. And this is the simple drawing sheet that you can create. If you want to create now a new sheet, you can go here to the drawing toolbar. If you don't see this drawing toolbar, you can right click here, and here you will find drawing toolbar. And here we have an option, new sheet. So let's select here new sheet. And now here we have a sheet 2. So here is the sheet 2 and here is the sheet 1, like this. And here we can see we have sheet 1 and sheet 2. Sheet 2 doesn't have any view. This is empty sheet. If you want to delete this sheet, you can right click and you can go here delete. Let's go with yes. And this is it. So this is the simple way how you can create a drawing sheet. Now we're going to show how to create front view, isometric view and auxiliary view of this model here. So let's go here to the start, mechanical design, and let's go here to the drafting. Let's select here now empty sheet like this. Let's go with OK. Let's go with A0 and global scale 1:1 and OK. And this is our drawing sheet, as you can see, drawing 1, sheet 1. Now here we have views toolbar. So make sure that you have here views toolbar. If you don't find it, you can go here, right click, and let's go down. And here we have views toolbar. The first view that we're gonna create is front view. So here we have front view. If you don't see it, you can click on this arrow and you will find here front view. And now you can see nothing happens. Now we have to select a reference plane on a 3D geometry. So let's go here to the window and let's go to the drawing. This one here. Now here we have to select what's going to be our front view. So we have to select some face. We can select this face. Now here down on the right side, you can see the orientated preview. We can also select this face and that's going to be our front view. So let's select this one and we are automatically back to the drawing file. And here we have our drawing view and this is our front view. Now we can select this view and we can move this view and we can position this view anywhere where we want. For example, let's go here like this. And this is our front view, as we can see, with a scale 1:1. Now let's click on this arrow. And here we have projection view. With this tool, we can create left view, right view, bottom view, top view of this front view that we have here. So let's select here projection view, like this. And now if you go with a mouse here, you can see if you go down from this view here, we have a top view here. If we go up, we have a bottom view. If we go to the right, we have a left view. If we go to the left, we have a right view. So this right view we get if you look from this position here in this direction, like this. Let's create here left view, this one here, and we can see this is left view. And this is the same view as the front view. Now let's select your projection view again. Let's go down, and this is our top view, as you can see. Now we don't need this left view, so we can click on this view, double click, right click. Let's go here with delete. Now let's go here to the views again, and here the next view that we have is auxiliary view. And with auxiliary view, we can project our view onto any plane or face that we select. So let's select here auxiliary view, and now for example, we want to project our view onto this plane here. So we have to select the linear edge to define the orientation. So let's select this edge here, and let's click here, like this. And now as you can see, here we have this view. And this is the auxiliary view. So you can see this is not a standard view. This is auxiliary view that's projected onto this edge here. As well, we can create some random line. For example, let's go here to the geometry creation. Let's select line like this. And you can draw any line like this, for example. Now let's go here to the auxiliary view. Let's click at this point and let's click on this point like this. And here we have auxiliary view that's projected onto this line, as you can see. If we get closer, we can see this is A view and this is auxiliary view A. And this is B view and this is auxiliary view, as we can see here, B. Now let's delete this view here. Let's double click, right click, and let's go with delete, like this. The next view that we have here, let's go here, is isometric view. So isometric view is 3D view of our model. So let's select this one here. Now we have to select a reference plane on 3D geometry. So let's go here to the window. Let's go to the drawing or model. Let's select this face, for example. And now we are back here to the drawing file, and this is our isometric view. As you can see, this is 3D view of our model. Let's position this view here. Let's get closer, and we can see this is isometric view scale 1:1. And the last tool that we're going to show here is advanced front view. So let's go here, and the last tool that we have here is advanced front view. Let's select. Now here we have a view parameters, and here we can change the name, view name, we can change the view scale. For example, let's go with 2:1. Let's click OK. And now we have to select the reference plane on a 3D geometry. So let's go here. Let's go to our model. Let's select this face here. Like this. And this is our front view. Let's position this front view here. Like this. Let's click outside of our drawing view. And you can see this is front view with a scale 2:1. And this is drawing view with a scale 1:1. So this is how you can create a front view, projected view, auxiliary view, isometric view, and advanced front view. Now we're going to show how we can change view properties. So make sure that you have active this front view here. So you can double click here, or you can double click here. Let's go right click, and let's go to the properties. So here we have two tabs, view and graphic. Let's go to the view. Here down we have a scale and orientation. So we can change the angle here. Now we have 0 degrees. You can go, for example, with 30 degrees. Let's go with apply. And now you can see the changes here. Now this view is under 30 degrees relative to the horizontal line here, as you can see. Here we can change the scale. Now we have 2:1, but we can also go here, for example, 3:1. We can apply, and this is the result. But now let's go here to 0 degrees. 0 and apply. Like this. Here we have dress up options. So let's go here with hidden lines. If we want to show the hidden lines, we can check this one. Let's go with apply. And now we can see the hidden lines of our holes. So here we have also option to create central line, to create axis and thread. If you don't want that this wireframe will be displayed, you can go here and you can check here, display wireframe. You can apply, and now you don't see the wireframe. But let's go here with display wireframe. Let's go with apply, like this. Here we have option log view. So you can log view, and now you can't change any properties here. But let's go here with unlock. As well, here we have an option visual clipping. Let's check this one. Let's go with apply. And now you can see that our model has been clipped with this one here. But let's go here and check visual clipping. Let's go with apply and OK. So this is how you can change some basic view properties. You can also access those properties if you go here, right click, and you can go here to the properties as well. And here you have the same properties. Let's go with OK. Now, for example, if you want to copy this front view, if you want to create another instance of this front view, you can right click, you can go with a copy. You can click here on the sheet 1, right click, let's go with paste, like this. And here we have another front view. Now we can click here and we can drag it out like this. Now here we have two identical views, front view and front view the second instance. But this is not what we want, so we can right click here and we can go here with delete, like this. Let's go with this view here. Now if you want to hide some view, you can right click here, and here you have an option hide show. And you can see that this view is hidden, and here on the tree you can see here that this icon has changed. And now you know that this view is hidden. So now you can right click here and you can go hide show again, and now this view is shown here. As well, you can go here, right click, and also you can go here with show hide, like this. And the result is the same, right click here, and let's go with hide show, like this. So this is how you can change some properties of your views. In this lecture, we're gonna show how we can put dimensions to our drawing views. So first we have an option that we can generate dimensions that are already created in the sketch. So for that, we can go here to the insert, and here we have generation, and here we have option generate dimensions. So we can click on this one, and here we have an option type of constraint. sketcher constraint, 3D constraint, measure constraint. Let's go with checked all, and let's go here with OK. And now here we have some dimensions that we have created in the sketch. Let's go here with OK. Like this. We can get closer, like this. We can go with this one here. We can go with this one here, just to make it more visible, like this. Here we have also 70, we can put this here, like this. Here we have 20, here we have 30, like this, and here we have 20. Now if you want to change the height of the value, you can click on this one. You can go here, and you can go, for example, with 10, like this, and this is it. So now here we have 20, like this. So this is how you can retrieve the dimensions that we have used in the sketch creation. Now let's go back. Like this. Let's go here to the insert again. Let's go to the generation, and here we have generate dimensions step by step. Let's select this one. Now let's go here with OK. And now here we have an option. So we're going to create one dimension by dimension. Between each dimension, we can create a time here, timeout. For example, let's go with 3 seconds. So let's go here with play. So now here we have the first dimension, 3 seconds. Now we have the second dimension, 3 seconds, and so on. Here we can go with pause, like this. Let's go with play again, and here we can go with stop, or we can go right to the end. So let's jump here to the end, like this, and this is the result. And we got the same result as before, but now we can see each dimension, how it's created. And you can define the timeout, so the time between each dimension creation. Let's go with OK, and let's go back. As well, as you can see here on the insert, here we can also go to the views, and here we can select all the tools that we have here on the toolbar. Here we have views, here we have drawing, dimensioning, annotation, dress up, and so on. Now we showed how you can create dimensions automatically, and now we're going to show how you can create dimensions manually. Before we do so, let's go with smaller views. So let's go right click here, properties, let's go here 2 to 1, like this, just to get more space for dimensions, like this. Let's go to this one here, right click, properties, let's go here 2 to 1, apply, and OK, like this. Now we have more space here for dimensions, and here we have dimensioning toolbar. If you don't see it, you can right click here, and you will find here dimensioning toolbar. So the first dimension that we have here is this one here. Let's select this one, and now we have to select the element on which we want to create dimension. So for example, we can select this line, and here we have dimension, as you can see, 60, like this. You can also select this one, and you can select a circle, like this, and now here you have the diameter of this circle. So this is really a simple process, how you can create dimensions. You can also select this tool. You can select, for example, this line here, and you can select this line here, and now you have dimension between those two lines, like this. Before we use the next tool, let's go here, right click on this view, properties, and let's go here with hidden lines. Let's apply, and OK, like this. The next tool that we're going to show here is chained dimensions. So with chain dimension, first we have to select the first element. Let's go here to the last element, and now we can select some elements in between. For example, this one here and this one here, like this. And now here we have 3 dimensions in the chain, like this. Let's select this one. Let's go with delete. The next one that we have here is cumulated, this one here. So first we have to select the base element, for example, this one. Now we can select this one here, and this one here, like this. And now we get closer. So here we have a 0, then here we have this dimension, 57.5, and this is dimension from this line here, this 0 here. Then we have 92.5, and this dimension is also from this line here. As well, here we have 150, and this is the length of this line here, this one here. Let's delete this. The next tool that we have here is stacked dimensions. Let's select this one. Now let's select the first element, this one here. Let's go with the second. Let's go with the third, like this, and let's go with this one. And this is it. Now here we can see we have 3 stacked dimensions, 57, 92, and 150. Delete. Let's go here to the next one. So the next one here is length distance dimension that we shown before. And here we have angle dimension. Let's select this one. So for example, we can create an angle dimension between 2 lines. For example, this one here and this one here. And now here we have 45 degrees. So we can go to this direction, or we can go to this direction if we want. So let's go here, 45. The next one that we have here is radius. So we can select this one, and now we can select, for example, this circle, and here we have a radius, 7.5. If we want a diameter, then let's go here, and here we have a diameter. Let's select this circle, and now instead of radius, here we have diameter. The next tool that we have here is chamfer dimension. Let's select this one. Let's go up here, and here we have a chamfer. Now we have to select a line or a surface, so let's select this line here. And here we have our dimension, 5 multiplied by 5. So we have 5 millimeters in x direction and 5 millimeters in y direction. Now you can position these dimensions over here, like this. And this is our chamfer dimension. Also, the last one that we're going to show here is so we can show the coordinates of some points. So let's select this one here. And now we don't have any points here, but you can go, for example, to this center line. You can click on this center line, and here we have the coordinates of this point here. So here we have the x coordinate minus 97.5 and y coordinate 0. Now we can go here to geometry creation. We can create some point. Let's select your point, and for example, let's go here to this vertex. Let's create a point here, like this. Now we can go here to coordinate dimensions. Let's select this point, like this, and here we have coordinates x and y. As well, here we have options, geometrical tolerance, so you can select this one. You can select, for example, this edge here, and now you can position this here. And now here you can fill the information about your tolerances. Let's go with OK here. If we get closer, so this is the symbol. As well, the next tool that we have here is datum. You can also position this tool, for example, on this edge here, like this. Datum feature, here you can go with the symbol A and OK. And this is the end of the lecture. In this lecture, we're going to show how we can create a frame, title block, and how we can print our drawing. So first we're going to show how we can create a frame and title block. So on the title block, we can show the different information about our drawing and who created this drawing. So to do that, we have to go here to the edit, and let's go here to the sheet background. So because we have to go here to the sheet background. And now here on the right side, we have a tool frame and title block. Let's select this. So here we have a different title block templates that are already created. And now we can select, for example, here, this one here, and here we can see the preview, how it's going to look like. We can select this one here, and so on. So let's go with this one here. As well, you can go here with create, delete, resize, update, check by add revision block. Let's go with this one, drawing title block sample 1. Let's go with apply. And now here we can see our title block and the frame. Let's go with OK. And this is the result. So here we have a frame, and here we have a title block, as you can see. Here we have checked by date, size, scale. Here we have a name, number, and so on. For example, if you want to change something, you can double click here, and you can change this name. So we can call it drawing 1. Like this. Let's go with OK. And changes are applied here. There's also a possibility that you manually create your own sheet. So let's show how we can do this. So first let's go here, let's select this tool frame and title block, and let's select this one here and let's go with delete. Let's go with apply. And now we can see that this title block and this frame has been deleted. Let's go with OK. So you can create your own title block by using basic sketch tools. So let's go here to the insert, geometry creation. Let's go here to the profiles, let's select rectangle. So we can create a frame, for example, like this. Now we can go here, we can select a line. And we can create some title block, for example, like this. Let's select actually profile here. Let's go here to the geometry creation. Lines, let's select the line again. Let's go from this point down here, like this. And if you want to create some text here, you can go here to the text, select the point here. Let's go here, for example, with a name, like this. Let's click OK. This is also possible how you can create your own title block. So you can put here different lines and you can put here drawn by, checked by, name, size, scale, and so on. But let's go back and let's go with some standard title block. Like this. Let's go here, let's click on this tool. Let's go here with drawing title block sample 1, create. Let's go with apply. Let's see how it's gonna look like. This is okay. Let's click OK. And now we have to go back. So let's go to the edit and let's go to the working views. Like this. And here is our title block. And now this is our drawing sheet that we wanna print. So let's go here to the file and let's go here to the print. Like this. Here we can select our printer. So you can select any printer that you have, or in our case, we're gonna go with PDF Creator, like this. Here we can choose the print area. Now you have whole document, we can go with display, or we can go with selections. We can select the area on our drawing sheet that we wanna print. So for example, if we go with display, then we have this. But let's go here with whole document, like this. Here we can define number of copies that we want. Let's go with 1. Here we have options, no fitting, fit in page, fit to. Let's go with fit in page. Here we have the rotation. We can go with 90 degrees, 0 degrees, 180 degrees, and so on. Let's go here to the page setup. Here we have a paper format, so we can go here with A4, A0, A1, and so on. Here we have width and height, and here we have margins, as you can see. Let's go with OK. And now if we want to see the preview, we can go here to the preview. We can see the preview, that's okay. Let's click OK here. And let's go here with OK. Like this. Here we can define the title. Let's call it My Drawing. Like this. And let's go with Save. Let's select the destination. Let's go to the desktop. This is my drawing. We have PDF and let's go with Save. And this is our drawing sheet that we have created. So here we have our views, here we have the frame, and here we have the title block. So this is how you can create title block, frame, and how you can print your drawing.